Throughout the history of humankind, myths and legends have served as windows into the deepest hopes and fears of people across the globe. Few myths capture the imagination quite like the tale of the phoenix, an immortal bird that dies in flames, only to rise, renewed, from its own ashes. Today, we'll explore the fascinating origins of this symbol of rebirth, its presence in various ancient cultures, and the reasons it still captivates us today. Our journey begins in ancient Egypt, where the earliest form of the phoenix myth can be traced to the Bennu bird, a sacred creature closely tied to the gods. According to legend, the Bennu bird was linked to the sun god, Ra, and the concept of the sun's cyclical rising and setting. The Egyptians believed that the Bennu bird would burst into flames and then rise from its ashes, just as the sun is reborn each day after setting. The Bennu bird lived in the temple of Ra and symbolized the flooding of the Nile, the key event that brought life and fertility to the land. To the Egyptians, the Bennu was not just a bird, it was the embodiment of life, death, and resurrection. The tale of the phoenix, as most people know it today, took shape in ancient Greece. The Greeks adopted the myth from the Egyptians but gave it new characteristics. The name, phoenix, itself is derived from the Greek word for the color purple or crimson, symbolizing the flames from which the bird is born anew. In Greek mythology, the phoenix was described as a magnificent bird with feathers of gold and red, capable of living for hundreds, even thousands of years. When its time was near, the phoenix would build a nest of aromatic woods, set it on fire, and be consumed by the flames. But from those ashes, a new phoenix would emerge, continuing the cycle of death and rebirth. The phoenix's connection to the sun and fire resonated deeply with the Greeks, who saw the bird as a symbol of eternal life and renewal, an idea that would later influence early Christian thought. Speaking of Christianity, the early Christians also found significance in the myth of the phoenix. They saw the phoenix as a symbol of Christ's resurrection, a perfect metaphor for life after death. In early Christian art, the image of the phoenix often appears, representing the promise of eternal life in the afterlife. Saint Clement of Rome, one of the first church fathers, wrote about the phoenix in his letters, using the bird's cyclical life as evidence of the possibility of resurrection, reinforcing the idea that death was not the end. But the story of the phoenix doesn't belong solely to Egypt or Greece. In ancient China, the phoenix takes the form of the fenghuang, a mystical bird that represents both male and female forces, embodying balance and harmony. It is also seen as a symbol of the empress, contrasting with the emperor's dragon. In Persian mythology, there is the simurgh, a similar bird that lives for centuries and has the power of healing. Across cultures, the phoenix, or a version of it, represents hope, the cycle of life, and the triumph of life over death. The phoenix is more than just an ancient myth. It speaks to a universal human desire, the hope that no matter how devastating the fire, we too can rise from the ashes. In a world where loss and hardship are inevitable, the phoenix reminds us that renewal and transformation are always possible. From Egypt to Greece, from early Christianity to modern-day storytelling, the phoenix continues to inspire us to believe in the possibility of rebirth, no matter the circumstances. And so, the phoenix will forever rise, in myth, in art, and in our heart.